Hello. Hello. Hello, boys and girls. Hello, mums. Hello, dads. I've a little bit of news for you. Parish Council went on a coach trip to London yesterday, and they were stood in the middle of Trafalgar Square, and the policeman said, "It's busy, isn't it?" And the chairman of the Parish Council said, "Yes, well, it will be. There's a trip in from Wrea." I was in Benson's Butchers in Kirkham this morning, and this lady came in and she said, "You know that leg of lamb I got from you last week? Well, when I bought it, it was that big. And when I took it home and put it in the oven, it was only that big." But she said, "It's funny you should say that, because you know that store your husband has on Kirkham Market? Well, a few weeks ago, I bought a pullover off him. And when I bought it, it was that big. And when I took it home and put it in the washing machine, it was only that big." And she looked up at him and she said, "I wonder if it were the same shade." And what about those two brothers that went on their holidays to Fleetwood? And they thought they'd have a night out in Blackpool, so they caught the tram down from Fleetwood to the North Pier, and then they went across the road to the Winter Gardens and they had a few drinks, and then they went into the Tower Bar and they had a few more drinks, and then they went on the promenade and they had a game of bingo and they won a bottle of whiskey, and they went in a tram show to this bottle of whiskey and they drank it and they fell asleep. And when they woke up, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. And one brother said, "How are we going to get back to Fleetwood now, because buses have stopped running and the last tram's gone?" And one brother said to the other, "I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go round to Talbot Road bus station and we'll borrow a bus." So they went round to Talbot Road bus station, and one brother said, "I'll stand outside while you go in and get a bus." Well, he stood there for about 20 minutes. He can hear all these buses stopping and starting. So eventually he said to his brother, "What do you think you're playing at?" And his brother said, "I'm having a hell of a time. One for Fleetwood, so back at Kew." So other brothers said, "Well, why don't we take this one that says Cleveland and we'll walk rest away?" I'd like to introduce you now to Liz and Linda, who many of you will know, and they're going to sing songs from the musicals Chess, Annie Get Your Gun and Sideshow. So will you give them a real warm Wrea Green welcome? Ladies and gentlemen, Liz and Linda.
waiting far too much for far too long. Looking back, I could have played it differently. When a few more moments, who can tell? But it took time to understand the man. Now at least I know him well. Wasn't it good, so good? Wasn't he fine, so fine? Isn't it madness? He can't be mine. But in the end, he needs a little bit more than me. More security, fantasy and freedom. I know him so well. No one in your life is with you constantly. No one is completely on your side. And though I move my world to be with him, still the gap between us is too wide. Looking back, I could have played it differently. Right about the man before I was just a little kid, but I was ever so much younger then. I know him well. Wasn't it good? Oh, so good. Wasn't he fine? Oh, so fine. Isn't it madness? He won't be mine. Didn't I know how it would go if I knew from the start? Why am I falling apart? Wasn't it good? Wasn't he fine? Isn't it madness? He won't be mine. But in the end, he needs a little bit more than me. More security, fantasy and freedom. I know him so well. It took time to understand him. I know him so well. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's somebody out there. Linda and I have been good friends for a number of years. We've been singing together for about 4 years. And we're good chums. And on a lot of things, we really agree. And we stand shoulder to shoulder. But on one or two things, we don't quite see eye to eye. I'm superior, you're inferior. I'm the big attraction, you're the small. I sing the major songs, you sing the minor ones. I can beat you singing, that's not all. Anything you can sing, I can sing better. I can sing anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Any note you can sing, I can sing softer. I can sing any note softer than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. reach any note higher than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. 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 Yes, I can. Anywhere you can shop, I can shop cheaper. I can shop anywhere cheaper than you. Sainsbury's, Morrison's, B&M's, Aldi. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Any song you can sing, I can sing faster. I can sing any song faster than you. You haven't stand. You haven't stand. You haven't stand. You haven't stand. I can sing an opera, speaking really clever. I prefer pizzazz. Give me girl jazz. I can sing any style. S Club 7? Perhaps for a while. Any note you can hold, I can hold longer. I can hold any note longer than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Any clothes you can wear, I can wear better. Any designer wears better on me. In Chanel, sweetie. M&S. What's that? No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Any shelf you can reach, I can reach higher. I can reach any shelf higher than this. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Well, I can wear stilettos. She needs to forge duettos. I can knit a sweater. I can fill it better. I can do most anything. Can you bake a pie? No. Neither can I. Oh, good. Any song you can sing, I can sing sweeter. I can sing any song sweeter than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. 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 I can. Yes, we can.
Thank you. Our last song is one that you will never have heard before, so I'd like to put it in context for you. Last Easter, I was privileged to be on holiday in New York with three very special people. One evening, we had a meal in Ellen's Stardust Diner, which boasted singing waiters and waitresses. The food was pretty awful, but the singing was excellent. One song we particularly liked was a duet sung by two young waitresses. They told us that it was from a little-known Broadway show called Sideshow, based on a true story about Siamese twin sisters. So the next day, we went out, found the score, brought it home. Eddie wrote a beautiful backing track, and we hope you like it. It's called Who Will Love Me As I Am.
Like a fish plucked from the ocean, tossed into a foreign stream, always knew that I was different, often fled into a dream. I ignored the raging current, right against the tide I swam, but I floated with the question, who will love me as I am? Like an old exotic creature on display inside a zoo, hearing children asking questions makes me ask some questions too. Could we find
which would appear to be the majority of you. Now, my name is the Reverend Austin Tatius from the Church of St. Vitus, a lively church in the parish of Gently Down, near Crinkly Bottom. Now, I have been asked to read out a few notices on forthcoming events in the parish over the next few days. Now, apparently, these would normally be read out by your leader, Mr. Althwaite, but Mr. Althwaite cannot be here this evening. However, I spoke with Mr. Althwaite earlier today, and he tells me not only is he your licensed reader, but he has also managed to do joined-up writing as well. So he's a reader and a writer. So, now, the first notice is with reference to the ladies' circle. The Tuesday meeting has had to be cancelled due to the indisposition, as it were, of the speaker. However, Mrs. Chrissy Wheatman, stalwart that she apparently is, has stepped into the gap, as it were, and she has written that she will be at home between 2 and 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, and is more than willing to be taken advantage of. Now, secondly, the Mothers' Union, they meet as usual on Thursday, when the speaker will be your very own, the Reverend Jack Whitson. And the subject of the vicar's talk will be, and I quote, "the joys of entering heaven." Reverend Whitson has indicated that on this occasion he is unlikely to be accompanied by his wife. Now, a reminder for those involved in the Fun for the Funless Day, they meet here in school next Saturday at 10:30 a.m. It is pointed out, however, that those who feel offended by the suggestion that they need to be reminded must assume the reminder is not for them and should therefore ignore it. Lastly, the new and long-awaited toilets in church have been completed. However, due to the previous facilities being somewhat abused, the new toilets are to remain locked. But I am also told, if I can just, here we are, yes, they are to be locked, but the key can be found on a hook in the electricity junction box just outside the vestry door. The key to the junction box is inside the tall cupboard, just inside the church door. And the key to the tall cupboard is to be found in the roving chest, which is situated just outside the vestry door, immediately beneath the aforementioned electricity junction box. Okay so far? Good, good. The key to the roving chest is held by Mr. Stanley Parkinson, the verger, who has agreed to make it available on the 1st and 3rd Mondays and 4th and 3rd Tuesdays of each month, unless the month commences on a Monday, in which case it will be the 3rd and 4th Wednesdays. Now, should you have any questions on anything at all that I have said, you can, of course, always speak to your vicar, Reverend Whitson, who, as ever, is always available on the 3rd, 7th, and 9th odd-numbered days in any month, except when these fall on a weekend, when such exceptions do not apply. And lastly, you will notice as you leave by the door, there will be 2 small plates. These are for a retiring collection. Thank you. Now, I have just one more thing to do. I would like to invite all of you to a wedding.
photograph. We're all dressed up in a morning suit, all trying not to laugh. Since the early caveman in his fur took a trip to Gretna Green, there's always been a photographer to record the happy scene. Oh, then. Holy flashbang, what a picture, what a picture, what a photograph. Poor old blood, blown, what a joke. I've blown up in a cloud of smoke, clap hands. Slam your feet, banging on a big bass drum. What a picture, rock to the up, bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your family, old Tom. The same thing happened long ago when man was in his prime. And what went on we only know from the snaps he took at the time. Since Adam and Eve in their birthday suit decided to get wet, as Adam was about to taste the fruit, the man with the camera said, howdy. Holy flashback, what a picture, what a picture, what a photograph. Poor old Eve there with nothing on, face so red and a big leaf, go clap hands. Stamp your feet, banging on a big bass drum. What a picture, up to the bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your family, old bum. King Henry VIII had several wives, including Anne Boleyn, and he kept a picture of their lives with all their photos in. As Anne Boleyn was on her knees, dressed in her very best frock, King Henry shouted, "Small dear, please," as her head rolled off the blow. Oh, then. What a picture, what a photograph. Comes the prince in a little while. She lost her head, but she kept her smile, clap hands. Stamp your feet, banging on a big bass drum. What a picture, up till the up, bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your family, oh bum. You've read it in the folio or seen the Shakespeare play, how Juliet fell for Romeo in the merry month of May. And as he climbed the orchard wall to reach his lady fair, as he tumbled she began to fall, as he floated through the air. Hold it! Holy flashback, what a picture, what a photograph. Jump, what a night he spent, tight so torn his rapier bent, clap hands. Stamp your feet, banging on a big bass drum. What a picture, up till the up, bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your family, oh bum. When Napoleon married Josephine, there was much the same to do. He galloped home from the battle scene all the way from Waterloo. And as he came from off his horse to the boudoir where she sat, she spoke to him in French, of course, as he took off his big coat hat. Hold it. Holy flashbang, what a picture, what a photograph. There she was with a big bazaar, all caught up in a roulade, clap hands. Slap your feet, banging on a big bass drum. What a picture, up till the up, bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your family, oh bum. Stick it in your family, stick it in your family, stick it in your family, oh bum.
I don't really. She's one of my very best friends. Just about the best, really. She's a very nice girl, Ethel is. Dainty, and refined. I mean, she'd never say or do anything unkind. But get her inside of a stadium, and she seems to go out of her mind. Kill him, she says. Knock his block off. At ice hockey or football or what? Kill him, she says. Turn him purple. Kill the perishing lot. Shh, I say. Ethel. Shh, and I die of shame. Kill him and bash his feet in his face, she says. She calls him a dirty name. I don't understand Ethel, I don't. I don't truly. She's always gentle and sweet, never a bit unruly. She's a very shy girl, Ethel is. She wouldn't say boo to a goose. You'd never think she ever could suddenly break loose. Get her inside of a stadium, and her face turns a terrible puce. Throw him out of the window, she yells, and swipe him. And her eyes turn a terrible red. Swipe him, she says, looking cheerful. Swipe them until they're dead. Shh, I say, Ethel. Shh, and I nearly die. Swipe him and grind his face in the mud, she says, and put your thumb in his eye. I don't understand Ethel. I don't really. She's one of my very best friends. Well, just about the best, really. She's a very quiet girl, Ethel is. That's why I never see what makes her carry on like that, noisy as can be. Then, last Saturday, down at the stadium, well, it suddenly happened to me. Break his silly neck, I yelled, and iron him. Boy, Ethel looked startled at that. Iron him, I said, feeling lovely. Iron him until he's flat. Oh, I say, Ethel. Oh, and I did feel queer. Then she grinned, and both of us gave a yell. A bite a bit out of his
That's how it goes. Oh, Papa, Papa, everyone knows. They all suppose what they want to suppose when they hear oh, Papa. Oh, Papa, Papa, that's how it goes. Oh, Papa, Papa, everyone knows. They all suppose what they want to suppose when they hear oh, Papa. There's a little ditty that's singing in the city, especially when they've been on the gin or the beer. If you've got the patience, your own imaginations will tell you just exactly what you want to hear. Oh, Papa, Papa, that's how it goes. Oh, Papa, Papa, everyone knows. They all suppose what they want to suppose when they hear oh, Papa. Mr. Percy Snodgrass would often have the odd glass, especially when he thought that nobody could see. Secretly lying and drinking on the quiet, and dreamy was alone with the girl on each knee. Oh, Papa, Papa, that's how it goes. Oh, Papa, Papa, everyone knows. What if because of his red shaggy nose, that could be oh, Papa. Pretty little Sally goes walking down the alley, displays the pretty hookers to all of the men. You can see her glasses, the nudges, the free and gratis, and if you do, and then she knows when to say when. Oh, Papa, Papa,
situation. Can a fella be a villain all his life? All the trials and tribulation. Better settle down and get myself a wife. And the wife could cook and sew for me and comfort me and go for me and go for me and nag at me. The finger she would wag at me, the money she would take from me and misery she'd make at me. Oh, I think I'd better think it out again. A wife you can take anyway. I'd rather sleep anyway. Left alone on my own in the world and starting from now. It's hard to win friends and to influence people somehow. I'm reviewing the situation. Better quickly look up everyone I know. Titled people with their stations who could help me make a real impressive show. I could own a suite of carriages and run a fleet of carriages and wave at all the duchesses with friendliness as much as is befitting on my new estate. Good morrow to you, magistrate. I think I'd better think it out again. So where do I go? Somebody? Who do I know? Nobody. All my dearest companions have always been villains and thieves. And at my time of life, I should start turning over new leaves. I'm reviewing the situation. If you want to eat, you've got to earn a bob. Is it such a humiliation for a robber to perform an honest job? So a job I'm getting possibly, I wonder who my boss will be. I wonder if he'll take to me, what bonuses he'll make to me. I'll start at 8 and finish late at normal rate and no one won't. Think I'd better think it out again. What happens when I'm 70? Most of the time, 70. When I'm old and cold and no cares if I live or I die. The one consolations, the money you may have put by. I'm reviewing the situation. I'm a bad and a bad and I shall stay. You'll be seeing no transformation. Though it's wrong to be a rogue in every way. I don't want nobody hurt for me or made to do the dirt for me. It's getting far too hot for me. This rotten life is not for me. I cannot see an in-between. Who would help me change the scene? I don't know what they've got for me. And who would change the plot for me? I think I better think it out again.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, I would just like to give you an idea of how the Jubilee Choir was formed. Some 9 months ago, I visited a school in Preston and saw their end-of-term musical concert. I watched the senior choir, all in rows, with music and a conductor to guide them, perform a medley of Rodgers and Hammerstein music. The concert was, as always, a huge success. But on the way home, I wondered if I could take that medley and do something a little different with it. The Millennium Group needed funds for their Jubilee celebrations, and Wrea Green Players now had a reason to put on a show quite quickly. At the first rehearsal in October, some 35 people turned up, all volunteers, even men who don't normally volunteer for anything. I explained what I hoped we could achieve. No lines, no music, no conductor to guide us, 4 part harmony and a little bit of theatre. I am immensely proud of everyone in the choir and feel very privileged to have worked with so many talented, enthusiastic and determined people. So sit back, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the music of Rodgers and Hammerstein with Raeblin Village Jubilee Choir.
Their shows are known and loved throughout the world. From these shows have come a variety of song classics, songs of style and emotion, songs that will last forever.
Ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. Watch that fringe and see how it flutters when I drive them high-stem strutters. Nosy folks so peek through the shutters and the ride will off. The wheels are yellow, the upholstery is brown, the dashboard's genuine leather. You can keep your rig
got volleyball and ping pong and a lot of dandy games. What ain't we got? We ain't got dames. There is nothing like a dame. Nothing in the world. There is nothing you can name that is anything like a dame. There are no books like a dame, and nothing looks like a dame. Nothing thinks like a dame, and nothing thinks like a dame, and nothing acts like a dame, or acts like a dame. There ain't a thing that's wrong with any man here that can't be cured by putting him near the girly, womanly, female, feminine dame. Shall we dance? Shall we dance? On a bright cloud of music, shall we fly? Shall we dance? Shall we then say goodnight and mean goodbye? Oh, the chance when the last dim stars have the sky. Shall we still be together with our arms around each other? And shall you be my new romance? On the clear understanding that this kind of thing can happen, shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance? I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I can hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and worn. Walk on and on, keep hope in your heart, and you'll never
trees, always. Only you will take your little while. Boy, you want to bring your loving arms. I can feel it on your shoulders. Hold me, darling, hold me tight. Squeeze me, baby, with all your might. Oh, please stay by me, Daddy. Stay by me, Daddy. Stay by me, Daddy. Stay by me, Daddy. Oh, Carol, stay with you. Oh, Carol, I'm but a fool. Darling, I love you, though you treat me cruel. Good day, and you make me cry. But if you leave me, I will surely die. Darling, there will never be another, 'cause I love you so. Say that you need me, say you'll never go. I will always want you for my sweetheart, no matter what you do. Oh, Carol, still in love with you. all shook up. Oh, yeah. My hands are shaking and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own feet. Who do you think when you have such luck? I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I'm feeling fine. When I meet a girl out of face, my heart beats so she scares me to death. She touches my hand, the one that you like. This is a life, come on, feel this high. I'm proud to say that she's my one come. I'm in love. Oh, she got over. Oh, it's on this time with a child of school. I'm inside the shaking like a leaf on a tree. There's only one fool for the soul of mine. To have that girl I love so fine. She touches my hand, the one that you like. The kisses are like the morning on the sky. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up.
Sydney, I can't have a word you're saying. Go out of the door and spit it out. And Sydney, both feet, don't hop. Now then, Geoffrey dear, stand up. Well, flowers don't look backwards through their legs, now do they? That's it. Now then, I think we're just about ready. Oh, what about you? What are you going to be? Oh, a big fat... come in, Sydney. A big fat daisy. Oh, that's very... Sydney, come in. There's no need to knock the door down. A big fat daisy. Sydney? Sydney, what did you have in your mouth? A big button. Oh, Sydney, I am ashamed of you. A big boy of 4, taking buttons off the back of girls' dresses. Oh, I'm so glad you spat it out. You didn't? Sydney, do you feel all right? Well, perhaps you better take your place again. Now then, I think we're just about ready to begin again, Miss Golding. That's it. And I want you to, oh, that's lovely, Peggy. Move your arms. That's it. Turn around. Sydney, Sydney dear, have you decided what flower you're going to be? A cauliflower. Very well, Sydney. Be a cauliflower, but read it gently.
The time and all that jazz. I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz. Start the car. I know a whippy spot where the gin is cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Oh, slick your hair and wear your buckled shoes. And all that jazz, I hear that Father Dick is gonna pull all the blues. And all that jazz, hold on home, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin and at United Drug in case we shake apart. I want a brand new start to do that jazz. Oh, you're gonna see me shimmy, shimmy, shake, and all that jazz. Oh, I'm gonna shimmy till my butters break, and all that jazz. Show me where to park and good on. Oh, my mother's good, and she'd hear her baby's queer for all that jazz. Find the flags, we're playing fast and loose, and all that jazz. Right up here is where I store the juice, and all that jazz. Come on, we're gonna brush the sky. Bet you lucky land you never flew so high. 'Cause in the stratosphere, how could it land not into all that jazz?
Confused the mother ground, and I'm losing control. 'Cause the power you're strong, it's living mine.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true. You're the one I want. Ooh, honey's the one I want. Ooh, honey's the one I want. affection. You're too shy to convey, meditate in my direction. Feel your way.
Better shape up, 'cause you need a man.
I need a man who can keep me satisfied.
Better shape up, if I'm gonna prove.
You better prove that nothing is justified.
I'll be sure to give inside to the one I want. Oh, honey, the one I want. Oh, honey, the one I want. The one I need. Oh, yes, indeed. To the one that I want. Honey, the one that I want. Honey, the one that I want. The one I need. Oh, yes, indeed. To the one that I want.
I'd like to sing a song, if I may now, from the musical Buddy. In 1959, I became a teenager, and for my birthday, I got a dance set record player. Now, until then, if you wanted music, it was either the wireless or a wind-up gramophone. And suddenly, this dance set record player came out with an everlasting needle and an arm that held up to 10 records. And the idea was they were all supposed to drop one after another, weren't they? But they didn't, did they? Either two drop, none drop, to the old drop. And musically it was a magical time because the discos hadn't arrived. And suddenly it became fashionable for everybody to learn to play the guitar and form a beat group, as they were called then. It was a couple of years later at school when I got my first guitar. One of the lads said, "We're forming a beat group. Do you want to be in it?" And I said, "Well, I haven't got a guitar, and if I had, I can't play one." And he said, "Well, neither can we, but we've a booking in 3 weeks." So I bought a guitar and I learned a few chords and we did the booking. The pop stars of the day were Elvis Presley and Cliff Richard, Billy Fury and Buddy Holly. And this was the sort of song that we would sing.
Just you know why you and I will by and by no true love ways. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we're gonna cry, and we know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Throughout the days, those true love ways will bring us joys to share for those who really care. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we're gonna cry, and we know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Those true love ways will bring us joys to share for those who really care. Some
Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we're gonna cry, and we will know why just you and I know true love ways, and you'll know why just you and I know true.
They don't want me anymore. They'll say I'm through. Well, each time they knew, with one look I can break your heart. With one look I play every part. I make your sad heart sing. With one look, you know all you need to know. With one smile, I'm the girl next door. All the love that you hungered for. When I speak, it's with my soul. I can play any role. No words can tell the stories my eyes tell. Watch me when I frown. You can't write that down. You know I'm right. It's there in black and white. When I look your way, you'll hear what I say. Yes, with one look I put words to shame. Just one look sets the screen aflame. Silent music starts to play. With one look, you know all you need to know. With one look, they forgive the past. They'll rejoice I've returned at last to my people in the dark. Still out there in the dark. Silent music starts to play. With one look, you know all you need to know. With one look, I leave eyes ablaze. I'll return to my glory days. Dancing noise back at last. This time I'm staying for good. I'll be back where I was born to be. With one look, I'll be
Ooh, I've been waiting a long time. I've been hanging about for ages wondering where she is. Oh, let's get a little lamp, put on this watch. Have you seen my friend? She's tall and blonde with aquamarine features, and she's stately like an oak tree. she walks like one too. The trouble is that she doesn't know what she's doing half the time. She just gets conceived. Where have you been? I've been standing here waiting for you. I had 9 pennies when I got in, I've only got 1 left. I've made 2 phone calls, 1 to the police station and 1 to the hospital anywhere there. Where have you been? I bet you've been sat sitting supping somewhere. Alcoholic liquor. She likes a bottle of stout. What did I tell you this morning? I said, be soon, didn't I? Be soon, I said, be soon. Look at her. She just looks right through you. I wouldn't care, but she knows, you know, she just won't let on. Well, she's got to have a bit of patience because she's not all that she should be. She's not been the same since she fell off that donkey in Blackpool. You see, she was riding along with this donkey, and there was an ice cream cart that might be there, you see. And she leaned over to get an ice cream cone, and whoop, the donkey went right between her legs, and that donkey has never been seen from that day to this. And she fell, you see. She fell on the ice cream cornet and it pierced her brain. Went right through your ear hole, didn't it? Fortunately, there Alice was there. Your Alice was there, wasn't she? Yes, and straight away like lightning, there Alice said, fetch the doctor, because she knows Alice does. She works at the hospital, she's a nurse. Well, she's not exactly a nurse, she's a cleaner. But she knows what she's talking about. But she's clever, Alice, clever. She really ought to be certified. She's the life and soul of any party, you know. She's getting married. What a nice lad she's married. He's a nice lad, isn't he? Well, he's not really a lad. He's a bit older than she thinks. He hasn't told his age, but she only found out the other day because he left his old age pension book on the side. He's a sailor. Isn't he a sailor? Well, he's not exactly a sailor. He leads a horse on the canal bank. There's a canal, you see. He's got to be there, and when you get married, you want him at home, don't you? Mind, he's not been well. He's not been well, has he? No, he's had trouble with his eyes. He's got a detached rectum. She nearly got married once before, you know. Everything was arranged. That time she had a complete wardrobe flown over from Paris, but it didn't suit her. I think it was the light oak graining that didn't match her makeup. They got as far as the church last time before it was called off. They got further, but it was foggy and she was late, and when eventually they did get there, there was an extra guest. See, it was his wife. See, if they hadn't been late, he might have left the church before his proper wife got there. You'd have left the church before his wife got there if you hadn't got lost in that fog, wouldn't you? Yes, well, it's happened before, though. It's a case of bad light stopped playing. I've been a good friend to her, you know. She wouldn't get a friend like me every day because, for one thing, I don't talk about my own business. Well, we better be going. because I'm going to buy a trousseau. Well, I mean, she can't get married like that, can she? Because you see, she knows, you know.
The street's the place to go. As tonight for the first time, just about half-past 10. For the first time in history, it's gonna start raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Humanity's rising. The water's getting low. According to all sources, street's the place to go. 'Cause tonight for the first time, just about half-past 10, for the first time in history, it's gonna start raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. Raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Excessive, tall, blonde, dark, skinny, rough and tough and strong and lean. God bless Mother Nature. She's a single woman too. She took off to heaven, and she did what she had to do. She told every angel to rearrange the sky, so that each and every woman could find the perfect boy. It's raining men. Go get yourself wet, girl. I know you want to. sake, she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose, my rose. The bloom from my wild Irish rose.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are known as the Close Shaves for obvious reasons. Anybody who knows anything at all about barbershop will realise a lot of the songs contain ladies' names. Now, it is our proud boast that whatever the name of any lady in this house tonight, we will have a song that fits that name. Go. Come on.
Hazel.
Hazel. It's always one, isn't it?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hazel. Happy birthday to you. Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we traveled along, singing a song, side by side. Now that my girl and I were just married, we got rid of guess who had tarried. She said it's time for bed. I was glad we were wed, side by side. First she unscrewed her arm from the socket, put her false teeth in her pocket. Then the wig was so fair, she placed on the chair, side by side. Then she took her cock leg and draped it over the chair. When she took out her dainty glass eye, it was more than I could bear. There I stood broken-hearted, the ghost of my wife had departed. So I slept on the chair, there was more of her hair. Side by
Well, thanks for being a wonderful audience. I hope we've given a better performance than the vicar did on Sunday morning. He'd just been to Grange for his holidays. And when he was there, he heard the vicar in Grange open his sermon by saying, "Some of the happiest days of my life have been spent in the arms of another man's wife." At which point everybody looked up waiting to hear what was going to come next. And after a while, the vicar of Grange leant forward and said, "And of course the lady I'm referring to is my mother." And everybody thought, how nice. And our vicar thought, "He what, a good way of getting everybody's attention when I go back to Wrea Green." So on Sunday morning he went in the pulpit and he said, "Some of the happiest days of my life have been spent in the arms of another man's wife." Well, we looked at the floor and we looked at one another and then we looked at him. And after what seemed like an eternity, he leant forward and said, "And do you know, I can't for the life of me remember who the lady was." In saying that, you know when you're getting that little bit older, you know, when you bend down to tie your shoe, and you wonder what else you should be doing while you're down there. He was talking to a pal of mine, he said, back there, Ted, you're doing the filming. The other day, I said, hello, Ted, you're looking well. He said, yes, I've just been on my holidays. I said, have you? Where have you been? He said, we've been to, what's it called? It's on top of my tongue, I'll tell you in a minute. I said, well, when did you get back? He said, yesterday. Well, I said, have you been abroad or at home? He said, no, we've just been down south. And I said, well, whereabouts? He said, it'll come to me in a minute. I said, Bournemouth. He said, no. I said, is it further round? I said, Brighton. He said, no. He said, what's that stuff called that grows up front of your house? I said, ivy. He said, that's it. Ivy, where did we go for a holiday? What about that couple who went to Tenerife for their holidays and they got off the plane and they got in the taxi and he got in the front with the taxi driver and she got in the back with the luggage and they're driving along and taxi driver said, well, whereabouts do you come from in England? He said, Lancashire. And she leant forward and she said, what does he say? He said, he wants to know whereabouts we come from in England. She said, right. So they drove on a bit further and the taxi driver said, what part of Lancashire do you come from? He said, Morecambe. She said, well, what does he say? He said he wants to know whereabouts we come from in Lancashire. And they drive on a bit further and the taxi driver said, I used to be a taxi driver in Morecambe and when I was there I had the worst experience with a woman I've ever had in my life. And she said, what does he say? He said, he thinks he knows you. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, thanks for being everything that we hope you will be. And I'd like to introduce you to Ray Green's answer to the Chiller Girls, the Wobbly Bobblies, along with the entire cast of Jubilee Showtime as they sing and dance their way through. There's no business like show business.